the planet Earth. It's where we live. But do we understand what goes on here? Do we know why it rains? Do we understand why it doesn't? The Earth is home to many different systems. They all interact. Weather and climate directly impact each of our lives every day. But do we impact the climate? Students will investigate weather and climate. They will ask themselves why, how, and when. As part of this unit plan, students will learn key California state standards, such as the composition and the structure of the atmosphere. They will also learn concepts relating to the energy of the Earth systems. And finally, they will cover technology standards, such as collaboration, using digital tools, and promoting, supporting, and modeling creative and innovative thinking. Students will have a focus on developing academic vocabulary. Students will use an app called MindMeister, where they will be able to create, share, and present academic vocabulary terms in a very visual way. Students will be responsible for designing the layout of their own word map. They will be able to take the creative liberties to show what they truly understand and to help them further cement these ideas. Students will also be using the app Quizlet. They can use this app to study academic vocabulary terms at their own pace. They have the option of playing games as they learn these academic vocabulary terms. They can also use the traditional methods of flashcards or take quizzes to check for understanding. Students will use an online search engine, such as Google Images, to search for pictures as they relate to key vocabulary terms. This will help students organize in a visual way the different concepts and vocabulary words that relate to weather and climate. Students will also have a focus of group collaboration. Students will use the website Blogger as a means to collaborate digitally. Students will be responsible for researching reputable articles online as they relate to weather and climate. They will then synthesize this information to generate their own blog post, which will be published for other students to read and then comment on. Students will also be utilizing Google Docs as another means of digital collaboration. Students will be placed in small groups where they will discuss their predictions after looking at models, charts, and graphs of previous weather patterns. The final focus for this unit is the application that students have to real life. Students will design and construct an informative brochure that teaches others how to survive in the event of a natural disaster. Students will add helpful graphics and use a word processing program, such as Word. Students will be creating their own movie using the app iMovie. Students will be placed in small groups and will decide how they can best present this information. Students can generate a news report, documentary, or other informative media. Students must meet minimum requirements as outlined on the rubric. Once they generate their storyboard, they may then go outside to film their movie. Once this film is created, they can then import this into the app iMovie. They can also record voiceovers, add music, and sound effects. Students will utilize the multiple editing tools in order to generate a product that is professional and will be presented to the class. This unit plan addresses the different learning styles that students may have. Everyone thinks and learns a little bit differently. They can be more mathematical, musical, visual, bodily kinesthetic, intrapersonal, interpersonal, naturalist, existential, and verbal in their learning patterns. Combining all these different patterns, as outlined in the previous activities, will help students learn better. The next time you check the weather on your phone, ask yourself, do you see the weather and the climate in the same way? Or is it different?